Well, hey gang, how you doing? It's Jonathan again from Tailhunter International, and it's time once again for the Mexican Minute La Paz video fishing report, and this is going to cover all of the fishing action for the 25th of March until, you bet, it's April already, April 1st, 2018. Let's get right into it, okay? Listen, but before we start, let me wish you all, if you haven't had one or you're having one at the time you're watching this, hope you're having a great Easter, Passover, Semana Santa, Holy Week, whatever it may be. God bless you all. Hope you're doing well with your families and you're having a peaceful, happy holidays. Anyway, let's talk about fishing, okay? It's Easter week. It's kind of busy out there. Normally our beaches, I've got about 80 miles of deserted beaches in La Paz, but this time of year, you'd never know it. Where did all the people come from? Because the beaches are just packed right now. In fact, a lot of the locals are staying away because there's just so many people out at the beaches. And unlike, say, in the United States, where you've actually got a designated camping ground, the beaches are public in Mexico, so you can't stop anybody from setting up a tent right next to you. Literally, they're inches apart from each other. It looks like Woodstock out there right now. So if you're coming down, don't be surprised. Normally, our beaches don't look like that. Everybody's out having a great time, but the beaches are packed. Everyone's enjoying themselves for the Easter and spring break holidays. Let's talk about fishing, shall we? Listen, we've had some really rough weeks out there the past couple of weeks, and there's been winds and there's been rough water, but that's typical of the winter season. But we're coming into spring. Things are warming up. As a matter of fact, temperatures now running into the mid-80s during the daytime. Really some pleasant weather if you're coming down the next couple of weeks. And the fishing, well, we did still have some winds this past week, but we had some nice windows of opportunity too. And let me tell you, the fish are there. Over at Las Arenas, Muertos Bay, where we've been fishing mostly for the winter months, there's a nice variety of fish. And what's really unusual is we're getting warm water fish and we're getting cold water fish. The unusual thing about that is normally we don't see these warm water fish until maybe May or June, but it looks like they're moving in on top of each other. That's why we call this the transitional time. We've got cold water fish, several different species of pargo. That's dogtooth snapper, pargo liso, as well as barred pargo. We've got other cold water species like snapper and cabrilla, sierra, things like that. Lots of bonita in the water. And of course, there's always the present jack crevalle and some of the other bothersome fish like the needlefish. Those of you who've been down before know all about the needlefish. But there's also some warm water fish moving in. Not a lot of them, but it tells me that there's warm water moving in on top of the cooler water, and things are changing because we've also got some tuna, we've got some dorado, we've also seen some billfish and wahoo. So maybe this is a good sign for things coming up. I think maybe the cold water fish are moving out, so if you're coming down for yellowtail and some of those species, hard to say if they're going to be around the next couple of weeks with the waters warming. So a good amount of variety over at Muertos Bay, Las Arenas, and around Cerralvo Island. For La Paz fishing, we haven't been doing much fishing out there over the last couple of months because during the wintertime, I mean, it can be really, it's like victory at sea. It can be really rough. Even in the bay, if it looks calm, once you get out of the bay, it can be totally white water. It's an hour or so out to the fishing grounds. It can be really rough. So we don't do a lot of fishing or any fishing at all during the winter months out of La Paz. But this past week, like I said, some windows of opportunity. We got some boats out there. Now, listen to this. Just like over at Las Arenas, there were some indications of tuna out at El Baja, which is the seamount. Well, it's kind of north of town. Actually, it's pretty far out of town. Some of the guys that tried to get out there did find some bigger tuna, but they had to get through a lot of the bonita. And because you've got to head north to get there, some of the days that guys tried to get out there, it was really rough, really blustery, wasn't worth it, so they came back in. But inside, around the islands, they found some pargo, some cabrilla, some jack crevalle. They also found some yellowtail. And like I said, I don't know how long they're going to stick around, but the yellowtail they found were some nice grade 20 to 30 pound fish. But here's the surprising thing. Also, dorado. Not the little ones that we've had over the past couple of seasons, but some nice legitimate 10 to 20 pound fish. And they weren't too far offshore. As a matter of fact, they found some fish right there in La Paz Bay. So again, signs of good things to come. So we'll keep you posted on what's happening. And, we'll just keep sending you these fishing reports and really appreciate you checking in. In the meantime, that's going to do it for your Mexican Minute La Paz video fishing report for this week. Hope you're being good to each other. God bless you. Hope you're having a great Easter. This is Jonathan for Tailhunter International down here in La Paz.